Greetings to all, and we all appreciate your attendance today. So let's kickstart our session with this great quotation. It's a quote by Carl Jung. He says, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who look inside awakes." A very good evening to all the guests and dignitaries. In this capacity, as your host for the worldwide webinar on understanding your behavior style and choose your career, I, Vikash Yadav, the host, would like to take this opportunity to extend a hearty greetings to each and every one of you. It gives me a great pleasure to extend a warm hello to each and every one of you gathered here today. It is a huge honor for us to have someone of this caliber here whose involvement on the topic of understanding your behavior style and choose your career adds so much value to it. Unlock the power of self awareness. Today, we will explore how understanding your unique behavioral style can be the key to choosing a career that not only fits you but fuels your success. Before I proceed further, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization. SEMS Welfare Foundation, a registered non-profit organization, is dedicated to social impact across various sectors. We focus on education, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship. Through our initiative, Digi Saksham, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship, impacting over 6,000 individuals. We are currently upskilling inmates in Haryana jails and collaborating with universities and colleges. We have also partnered with banks to place over 1,500 candidates in jobs. FEM leads another SEMS initiative, empowers women through workshops and stories of successful female entrepreneurs. We conduct programs on digital literacy, marketing, and career development, reaching over 1,000 women across multiple states. The initiative recently reached a milestone of 100 women actively involved. In just a short time, SEMS has established a force for positive change, equipping individuals with skills for employment and promoting women's leadership in various industries. Now, let me take this wonderful occasion to publicly present and welcome M. Yogita, the keynote speaker for today's international webinar. M. Yogita is a veteran sales cum training specialist with almost 2 decades of experience in multi-industries. She has expertise in exponential business development via new business acquisition and retention. She is focused on operational excellence and has transformed the lives of 1,000 plus employees and students. There are many gems and diamonds in the world, and one of them is here to help us build this event. With this note, I, Vikash Yadav, on behalf of SEMS Foundation, would like to give my heartiest welcome to M. Yogita ma'am with a huge round of applause for joining us today. Your presence has added a significant amount to this event, and we are genuinely honored to have you here, ma'am.
So, thank you, Vikash. Thanks for the nice introduction about you, how effectively you're doing the service to the students and employees. Thanks for giving me the same opportunity to connect with a lot of enthusiastic people who join this session. So, in brief, myself, Yogita, I'm 2 years of experience. Basically, I'm a certified behavioral analyst and a mentoring and coach with 20 years of experience with different functionalities and with different industries put together. I have an experience. This is an opportunity which I have taken to make most of you who have joined to understand how your behavior impacts your career decision. Whether you are a student who is taking a choice to join a particular career or you're preparing yourself for your career, or if you're already an employee, what sort of internal changes, internal representation transformation you need to take, which is aligning with your behaviors and your driving force. This is what the topic which I have chosen, and hope this will really help all of us to really see a different dimension about ourselves. That is the key objective and the learning from this particular session. Hope while going forward, please feel free to stop. If you have any queries, you can ask. As Vikas said, you can have a freedom to stop, ask, you put your queries if comfortable with the chat. We'll try to respond it as quick as possible before the session closes. Right? Thank you so much. And let me start my presentation with my screen. So, as this topic mentioned, this is understand your behaviors and your motivators to your career. Motivators and behaviors are something which is completely a very unique dimension of ourselves. If you see most of the behaviors or most of the individual, if you ask, do you know about yourself? What could be the general response. If I said, if I ask some of you that, do you know about yours? What could be your answer? I think, is my screen visible now or it got stuck now?
The first slide is
It's
visible.
visible, ma'am.
And
It's visible.
Yes, visible. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. If I ask like how many of you know about yourself complete, most of the till I started the behavioral transformation journey and completing my different practices and courses, I do really feel that yes, I know about myself very much. To be honest, only 15 to 18% of the individuals really try to have a self-awareness about themselves. Most of us really what we feel is not we really what we don't know about us. There is always a saying in psychology which says there is always a reason behind the way the person behaves themselves. If I behave in a certain way, there is a reason. My behavior is something which I have a lot of permutations and combinations to have my behavior which is reflecting to the other side of the individuals who are observing. So this is one important impact we will be having while we are going into your careers or while you are choosing any very important decision in your life. So if you see this particular slide, what is your observation from this? Anyone can share your thought. What is the observation you are seeing? Lot of famous personalities you are able to see, right? Lot of famous personalities are there, and most of the famous personalities are unique and successful leaders in their specific industries. Some of them, if you see, they are cricketers are there, politicians are there, great business people are there, actors are there, right? And a social worker like Mother Teresa is there. If you see all these unique people, do you feel that is anything a common between them? Do we feel any commonality between this unique leaders, these personalities? Any commonality you find? All these people, only common thing is they are successful in their own industry and space. But you observe every person are a unique behavioral style. If you see any two cricket people, for example, if you take Sachin or along with Virat Kohli or Lakshman, they are the common, they are cricketers, but the personality, the leadership style, their behaviors are completely unique. Likewise, every person, whoever, either it's a successful celebrities like the person whom you are seeing in the slide, or any one of us are unique in certain ways, but our behavioral style is something different. We are unique in our own behavioral style. This is what we are trying. Everybody are successful this particular slide people says, but they are unique in their own behaviors and their leadership styles, right? So this is where every person has exhibiting their unique behavior. Now, with this basic understanding of how you need to see how each person is different in their behavioral pattern, now I want to make you understand. Generally, all of us will be having two set of behaviors. One, we will be having a very natural behavior, and one, we will be obviously having an adopted behavior. What do you mean by natural behavior? And what do you mean by adopted behavior? Can anyone add any point by just understanding what is your natural behavior and what is your adopted behavior?
the behavior which we have naturally by birth, by born, is a natural behavior, and for adopted, the
Ex-
behavior which we have adopted according to the society by living in society, that the adopted style
Exactly.
behavior.
Exactly. Very, very true. Natural behavior is what it is from our birth. It is natural. I have my unique behavior. Now, for example, Sunita as well is really inborn behavior. I always have my own natural behavior. What is adopted behavior? It is a behavior which you adopt to offer certain circumstances. Now, most of us, 90%, 99% whom we are now, all of us are in an adopted behavior, right? So we are, the moment we are out, we are self, we are at home, we are with a very close people, or we are alone, then only there is certain thing called natural behavior comes. Adopted behavior is what I adopt for to satisfy certain requirements in my environment. My job demands something which I'm not at all I'm not at all adopt natural behavior. My job may say you need to speak with a lot of people, you need to coordinate with a lot of unknown strangers day by day. Maybe I need to adopt that behavior, but naturally I may be a very introvert person. So natural behavior is something which I want to be myself, which is with me lifelong, and it is not changeable. Natural behavior is something which is with me and will be with me. Whatever you say, whatever transformation you take, whatever motivational classes you take, but still sometimes our naturally the framework what we have grown will always have our strong natural behaviors, and we try to upskill, or we need to shield ourselves with the very adopted behaviors, and we don't want most of the people need to know the natural. That's how we go. But there are, yes, definitely there are certain reasons where we need to adopt, and there are certain instances where it is always good to be in a natural way, and there should be always a balance. Natural behavior, adopted behavior, if you say, it is like a mask. What do you mean by mask? For example, I can be adopted to some extent, right? For example, if you put a mask, if all of us know that we have very much accustomed with mask in COVID time, maybe I'm a person where I'm really not very comfortable to wear a mask for more than half an hour. It suffocates me. Some of them who are little health conscious may have the same tolerance level to have that mask for 2 hours, 3 hours. So adapted behavior is also something, it is like a mask. Some point of time you need to take it, otherwise then you cannot sustain. The stress levels will be more, and some point of time we will be draining ourselves, and the burnout starts. So there is always a limit for our adopted behavior, and there is a break. It need to be unplugged sometimes, so that we always have our own natural behavior available, so that we really feel where we are exactly belong to, what are my really strengths. So there are two important concepts which we need to understand. What is my natural behavior, and what to what extent I am adopting, and for what reason I am adopting. It is not at all, it is one way it is important for us to understand I have certain adopted behaviors, but also it is very important in our self-reflection pattern to understand why I am adopting this. Is it for a good part, or sometimes it is something which is not no way important for my self development, but still I'm trying to adopt something which is not used. This is the one question which all of us has to be self answer, that if I'm adopting something which is not me, the first self-reflection question which we need to ask ourselves is, what for I'm adopting certain behavior? Is it for a long-term goodness, or it is something which I'm doing it for the sake of other people, or to please somebody in a family, profession, whatever it is? Is it really benefiting me to hold that adopted behavior for the long time? These are the self-reflective questions which always we need to understand. So this is the slide which I want to make you understand. All of us will have two things. We have a natural behavior, and we also have a adopted behavior. And the most unconsciously, whatever you do, we now most of us are in a conscious behavior, right? We are conscious, the way we sit, the way we, especially for me or people whom we are able to see in the video, we are very much conscious, right? So this is my adopted behavior. The moment I may not be off, or I am completely out of this, that is my actually natural behavior comes. So if you want to have your first question of understanding your behavioral styles, you need to understand what is your natural behavior, and what is your adopted behavior, and why you are adopting certain things in your certain unknown behaviors which is not you. Why are you adopting this? And you need to have certain internal self-reflecting questions. Why is it really helpful for me or not? To what extent I need to adopt? Is it for my self-reflection development, or something which I'm doing to sake of pleasing somebody around me? This is the something which we need to understand when you're learning about natural and adaptive behavior. Now coming to a very important aspect of this presentation, which hope all of you will really love to understand. Now I want to make you understand 8 different behavioral styles, right? These 8 behavior styles, all of us will be having these behavior styles with us, and only out of these 8, any 2 behaviors will be predominantly your behavior. Means out of these 8, you will be having a strong 2 behaviors which is reflecting in you, where other people can easily see and observe you that behavior. Remaining 6 are moderately seen behaviors. Sometimes that can be seen by others. Sometimes it is very rarely you will be exhibiting that behaviors. But believe me, out of these 8, if you say once you understand all these 8 behaviors, you will be understanding a point where you can say, yes, Yogita is having, for example, I take any of your name, let me take Vikas name. Vikas, after understanding these 8 behaviors, he can be easily understanding, okay, I have this strong 2 behaviors in me, means these are my strong predominant behaviors. And he will also now understand with behavior, I have certain strengths, I have certain emotions attached to it, and I also have certain limitations which I really need to work. So now I want to take you through each and every 8 behavior styles, and please feel free to stop me to ask if you have something in between. So far, so good. Can we go ahead or something as of now? Understanding the behaviors, different leadership styles, natural and adopted. To have anybody have something to ask, or is it so far so good to go? Your responses through audio or chat, anything is fine. Assuming that it is good to go, right? So the slide which you are able to see now, it shows two different things, right? For example, you're able to see problems and challenge. You, all of us, when a problem or a challenge comes to us, you will be exhibiting either these two of these behaviors. Either you will be exhibiting a direct behavior or you will be a reflective person towards the problem. Please understand, when certainly some problem comes in our life, obviously will be sometimes unexpected challenges we need to face, some unexpected problems. There is always a unique way you handle your own problem and challenge. When coming to this, you will be clearly identified how you deal with your problem. So if there are certain characteristics, certain strengths, and certain limitations and emotions attached to each behavior, I will explain this both. Then you correlate with yourself and you can come to your own conclusion stating, okay, when coming to problem and challenges, I am a reflective person. Or some of you may think I may be a direct. What do you mean by a direct individual? The name as it says, direct persons are very direct in nature. Means they jump into the problem fast. They love challenge. If any problem comes, these people have said, okay, let me deal with it. It may be an experience or it came what came. No point of thinking about it. Let me fix it. Let me take some support. But let me face it. I don't want to direct people, behavior people who will say, I'll not take step back. Let me face it and see what happens. And these people characteristics are something like, these people are very bold, are very pioneering, aggressive, very competitive people. If the problem, and please remember, when coming to problem and challenge, only I'm speaking about, it's not in gender. When something comes, you are very aggressive, you want to take a shot towards it and see how it goes. You are bold in your decisions. You want to innovate and try to do something new and get out of this. This is how this particular direct behavioral person will deal with the problem. And this direct people also have a emotional attachment to this behavior, where he is very quick to anger. Easily he will get angry. He may not be that how he handles the anger, or how long the anger will be retained, he's able to retain. What are the consequences is a separate part. If we are not deep diving into that complete EQ of this behavior, but still he will easily get angry. He cannot hold his emotion. He will immediately, through his action, through his words, through his body language, somehow way he will be expressing his anger. That other person will clearly know that yes, he is upset with this. That is the emotion this person will learn, which is easily evident to other people. And the strengths by having every behavior, again and again, I'm trying to reiterate to all of you. In out of these 8 behaviors, when you are understanding, please understand there is no good behavior or no bad behavior. All the behaviors are natural and which are acceptable behaviors. As human beings, everybody will have certain strengths and certain flaws, and that is what life we need to deal with. So please, immediate disclaimer what I want to really give is, please don't judge, okay, if I'm a reflective person only, I'm a good person. If I'm a direct person, no, I'm not a good person. No, every behavior has its own strengths and has its own limitations also. How you deal with it is only matters. I cannot completely become a reflective person, and by naturally, if I'm a direct person, I cannot become a reflective person. My direct is with me. My only question is how I deal with it. That's it. So coming to strengths, this is a point which I really want to make you everybody take it. No behavior, please take this is good behavior. Every behavior is natural, acceptable behavior. The only thing, how you balance it and how you handle this. That's it. Coming to the strengths, this direct behaviors are always likes challenges, of course. They are very responsible, ambitious, and forceful. They don't take step back. They're always like, if something comes, they don't panic. They want to give a shot. They're challenges, they're ambitious, and they're responsible for that. And obviously, there are certain limitations of this direct behavior also, because of his aggression, because of his competitiveness, pioneering. He may be sometimes oversteps authority. Means he don't want to listen to people. He will want to take his own decisions. Risk taking is very high in this person. Sometimes we know that risk has a equal probability if it is not a calculated risk, the probability of a damage or loss is high. So they have a certain limitation by his over aggressiveness, jumping into something and start doing something without properly knowing about that problem or something. He may sometimes land up with some problem. That is a limitation this person always sometimes have. This is how we need to understand. The other way, if you see, when a problem and challenges come, there will be another set of people in our forum. Maybe sometimes if a problem and challenges comes, these persons may think, okay, let me analyze it. Better I just don't jump. Let me think, let me analyze it properly, let me understand the pros and cons, and then try to involve it. I don't jump. This is a reflective way of person who will really take a step towards problems and challenges. They are very calculative. They are very peaceful. They are very calculative and conscious. If something is there, they just don't jump. They just want to take their time, analyze it properly, analyze it thoroughly, what top to front to end everything, then only they will take a decision. This is advantages sometimes, and of course, even the reflective behavior also will have certain limitations. This person's emotion is always they are little slow to anger. They don't get aggressive very fast. They think before they speak. They think before they act. They understand and they're little bit one step late, analyze and then take an action. And these people are comfortable with data and everything, but this reflective behavior also sometimes have its limitations in terms of if too much of analysis, he may sometimes land up in taking late decisions. Sometimes by too much of analyzing on same thing, not taking a further step, he may sometimes lose a great opportunities also. Then he may be feeling that, okay, I took long time because of this, I have analyzed. Too much of analysis, too much of slowness. This will also lead him sometimes to not able to get his opportunities also. So these are the two things in brief. When a problem and challenges, now you can think about when it is pertaining to problems or your challenges. Are you a way of direct dealing towards it? Are you a reflective person? This is one insight which you need to put yourself and understand. With these examples, these descriptors, you can now able to self-reflect yourself and you can put yourself, yes, by this understanding, when it is there, I'm a reflective person. It's your self-understanding. No need to discuss on this. Next, coming to another important thing of people and con means when a problem or when a for example, when how you deal with the people, that is one unique behavioral tendency. There are four things which your behaviors are reflect. For example, when a problems and challenges comes, what are you? When dealing with people, what are you? When coming to your pace, your energy levels, your steadiness, what are you? And when some task is given, some work need to be done, you need to follow certain process and procedures, what are you? These four are your key indicators for you to say about your behavior. There are certain tools and mechanisms to give you an analysis about yourself, but in this platform I really want you to only self-reflect yourself, to really know about yourself by just understanding the explanation and the descriptors which I'm giving here, right? So first one we are seeing. Now you are able to see when problem and challenges are there. Now you may be self-reflect yourself. You may be a direct landing towards direct, or you may be a reflective. The second one, as I told you, the second important behavioral tendency which you will be learning is when coming to people, how you deal with people. What is your behavior towards people? Generally, can anyone just put your thought in a by unmuting yourself or through a chat? How we generally deal with people, known, unknown, strangers? That's a different story. How many of us are comfortable with people? How many of us are not very comfortable with people? Any thoughts on this? Yes, right. So I take it forward. Anything to ask as of now? Is it clear? Is the flow okay? If somebody want to pause me, ask, please. Sure, I'll be doing the slideshow. I'm sorry. Yeah. Is my complete slideshow visible now? Hope the slideshow is visible, right? So now, when coming to people and contact, again, all of us will be exhibiting two behaviors. Either I may be falling in either of the one. Sometimes I need to
No, ma'am, it's not
interchange.
visible.
It's not visible.
No.
Once again, just give me 1 minute. Slide
Ma'am,
itself
I
is
think
not there.
the slideshow. Ma'am, the slideshow doesn't work on the Meet, I guess. You have to show it manually.
Yeah, I'm doing it through manual only.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now you're able to see?
No, ma'am, the
No?
screen has gone.
Don't complete 1 second. Sorry for interruption. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just put my slideshow. Just please let me know. Is it in the complete slideshow?
No, ma'am.
It is screen is there, but it's not in the slideshow. Or even the screen itself is slide itself is you're not able to see.
It's there how it was previously. It's normal.
Oh, it's not in the slideshow.
Ma'am, just yeah,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
I
Now
think
it is in
yeah
the
now it is.
slides.
Now it is, yeah, thank you. Good. Right. So maybe this we have gone through, and these are which we have already discussed, right? So this when coming to problems and challenges, we follow either of these behaviors. We need to self-reflect ourselves and see how we need to work on. Next, when coming to people, how my behavior is towards people and contacts, and how is my influence towards the people. In this also, I may be falling in either of the categories. I may be an outgoing person towards people. I may be a reserved person towards people. The name itself is very evident by saying that outgoing people may be we feel it of an extroverts. Reserved people, sometimes we feel it may be a introvert. Sometimes most of us in this current the fast-paced technology system or fast-paced dynamics changing, there is certain something is also called ambiverts, means I'm both. I'm more. I can be easily extrovert, and sometimes I can become more introvert also. That is a new tendency also now in most of the people we are able to see. But now let's confine to understand what I am in terms of people. Outgoing people, you can correlate yourself if any of these descriptors are falling for you, and what could be, if yes, what could be your strengths, what could be limitations. The outgoing people are very sociable people. They don't have any they don't feel not comfortable with assigning with strangers. They are very comfortable to say hi to anybody immediate. Maybe in an office environment or in a college environment, if some new employee comes or you are joining into new organization, by end of the day you can make your 2 3 friends easily. Most of the people you are comfortable with. This is how you can create your contacts very fast. These people will not have any constraints to having a rigidity that okay, let them come, I take some time, let me observe these people, then only let me start building a relationship. No, they're social. They're very much enthusiastic. They're like magnetic. They are very polished, very sociable persons. And these people's emotions are always, they're always, all is well people. Whatever happens, they always feel all is well. People are good, world is good, everything around me is good. So I feel I have that positive energy, and unfortunately or fortunately, these people will assume that the world is also very good and positive. That's how these people's emotions are aligned with this behavior. And by having this outgoing behavior, they have certain strengths by seeing a big picture. They can easily collaborate with people. They may be a good team players. They are very convincing people. Their persuasion skills are extremely good. They can influence you. To what extent that influence works or not is something different. But these people can influence others very easily. They have a strong conviction. These people are magnetic people. They can whatever they want to convince. They are very having a very high persuasion skills. These are the strengths these people will have. Of course, as I told you, every behavior has its limitation. When a behavior becomes a limitation is subjected, if that is beyond the requirement. That's what always when in most of these particular sessions I take, I always say, what is poison? Anything which is above the requirement is always a poison. Too much of going, too much of friendliness, everything is good, but there is a limit. The moment I cross that, that becomes my limitation. The strange strength, whatever I say, this is my behavioral strength I have, that will be becoming a limitation over a period of time. If you are able to understand at what point I am crossing that layer of becoming my strength is becoming my limitation, if you are able to hold that set, that is really a good sign of self-analysis and self-reflection for us. The limitations for these people are they speak less, of course, than they are situationally listeners. They speak more and listen less. They dominate the conversation. If 2 3 people are there, always they want their communication, their voice need to be dominant. So obviously there are certain limitations by dominating the group. Sometimes it is not good for him or not good for others. They have They are not very steady people. They have a poor time management because they're engaged everywhere. They want a lot of things on in their plate. So obviously time management will become one of the biggest challenge for them, and their listening and communication skills will be little poor sometimes. So they need to work on certain things to overcome this certain limitations. Coming to the other side, the result people, more or less you can also say a sort of introvert. Introverts, they how you can understand the introvert person, they are very objective person, calculative person. If they want to say hi to the person, they have their own internal calculations, observe that person for quite a long time, and they will make them enter into their boundaries. For outgoing people, the gates are always open. Anybody can come, anybody can go, he has no problem. But the reserved people, the gates are completely secured gates. If you want anybody to enter into this gate, he has a lot of internal examinations passed by this person, so that this person is somebody is eligible to come into his cell. So he's very calculative. He observe more, and he is little bit skeptical. He don't trust people very fast. But once he trusts and he is somebody, he's in circle, there will be a long lasting relationship with this. They don't allow very easily, but once you enter, some other people entered, you are they will continue the strong lifelong long relationship as much as possible. And the emotions for these people are realistic emotions. They are very practical. They don't get very emotionally bagged that okay, all this will happen, that will happen, everything is good. They are very practical, and they are very grounded. They understand the realistic world and take a decisions. They are very practical in their decisions, and they pay attention. Their attention to detailing is very high. The decisions, most of the time, these people decision making is also most of the times it will be good because they have their own analysis, and they take their own analysis and parameters to people to trust. So the decision making power is also slightly good. Coming to the limitations, as I told you everybody, most of the time these people will look other people. They're not very attractive people to others. People may feel that he is very moody. He will not involve very fast. He will be in his own world. That is sometimes other people's perception towards these people. Sometimes he need to work out and come out not completely. Of course, you cannot become completely outgoing if you're naturally your behavior is a reserve. But these are some things other people may look into, and these are some which we can work out on. These are the when people and this one coming. And the third part of this is what is now. I think with this in this forum now we are able to identify and map yourself, that you can put your answer that okay, now you have understood, you can answer yourself okay, you're outgoing or you may be a reserved person. Sorry. Next, coming to pace and consistency. When how you use your energy. All of us, we are charged by day. Morning we will be getting up from the bed with charging, and how you use your battery, how you use your energy is very important. Are you using it effectively in the right place, or you just your mobile is charged, you're just using your complete energy on unnecessary social media, and really whenever your mobile charging is required, at that time charging is not there. So how you use your energy, what is your consistency towards something, where you are channelizing your energy. Again, you will be either of these two sides of your behavior. One is study, one is dynamic. Study people are, as the name itself says, they are very study. They don't use energy unnecessarily. If it is really necessary only, they will speak, they take action, they walk, they do action, whatever it is. If they feel there is no use, they don't waste their energy on any unnecessary things. These are some descriptors of this behavior. These people are very relaxed, patient behavior, very logical and systematic people. They want everything structured. They don't really, if some discussion is happening, if he feels that okay, this is something not relevant to me, why I need to go waste my time, energy there, better I avoid. They are very patient, they are on their own world. They know, they are very calculative and don't know where to use their energy and their consistency. They are non-expressive, means emotionally we cannot really try to, if, apart from known people it's okay, but unknown people are most of the people, study people. These people expressions or their they are not expressive to whether they are happy, they are sad, they are mood, they are upset, they are happy about something happened. Other people cannot easily recognize their emotion. They are very normal, always sit like this. Whatever is happening, it is only between him and his mind or brain. Other people, it is very tough to really understand his emotions. So that will be his emotions. They're not expressive people. Strengths, consistency. If they do something, they analyze and take it to the end. Consistency is there. They are very consistent, stable. They don't jump into decisions. If they take a decision, they stick to it. Limitations, the basic limitation is they are very happy in their comfort zone. Though a very exciting opportunity is there also, these people are very reluctant to take that opportunity because they feel whatever is my framework, this is already working for me. It will work in future. Better I don't take something. So resistance to change is there. They can't adopt things fast. They cannot change something new. They cannot accept people. Whatever on my regular pace, if it is happening, it is very tough for him to do something new which he has not done till now. That will be sometimes becoming a limitation. But at the same time, his consistency, his deliberately sticking to something, exactly using his energy levels on the right thing is always his strength. Coming to the dynamic, too much of energy. Now in your office or if you're a student in your class, if you're an office in your co-workers, you will always see all these behaviors in your day-to-day life. Some people are over-energetic people, multitasking people, speaks more, dance more. He will not be in one place. Multitasking people, but they're unable to end up with one task. The problem with this dynamic study people, if they take a task, they see that they end it. Dynamic people will accept everything. You want something, I'll do. You want something, I'll do. So many works on his table, but he's not able to justify to most of. He's poor in time management skills. Very dynamic in nature. He have excess energy. Sometimes you see these people restless, very eager. He can't. Patience is very less. You can't ask him to hold something, wait for some time. He will repeatedly call you. I will inform you tomorrow. No, he will call you number of times. So patience is very less, very eager, lot of energy. So he don't know how to channelize his energy. So he jump into everything and try to do everything. Sometimes he will chances of ending up that is very, and he's a demonstrator. You can easily see this dynamic nature people. Strengths for these people, they are flexible. If some innovation is to be done, if something new thing need to be accepted, they're comfortable and flexible to adopt to it. They don't have their restrictions. That is an advantage for these people. They're open, they're flexible. They can handle pressure, variety of, if some everything new also, these people may be very good in startup. Study people, for example, these people will always be good in when doing some regulatory works, a process oriented work, because any suddenly if you ask something to do something new, these people will really can't take it. Dynamic person, if 1 week if he's doing the same thing regularly, he will get bored. He can't do the same monotony. He won't work with dynamic people. Study people, monotony is the only thing they love. Limitations, of course, this aggressive, this impatience, jumping here and there, sometimes it will also create some problems for himself and with others also. And finally, when coming to the last behavior, now you can understand why and you can answer yourself, you are a study or you are dynamic when coming to your consistent. Finally, when coming to procedures, when a task is given or you need to follow certain rules, some compliances in your work, how you deal with it. That again also is a reflection of your behavior. Precise people, as the name says, these people are rule book behavior. Means if something is written or some rules are framed, these people just want to follow the rules, whatever it may be. Practically, if something is not working also, they just say, the rule says so, let me do it. Precise people are a rule book people. They always want to go with rules. Very regulatory people, stringent to the process, and they don't accept themselves or others also to divert the rules. If something is need to be done in that way, it has to be done in that way only. Precise people, if they are good in rules of taking it into accountancy, some policy making, into some regulatory works like into banking, other authority, authorization rules, where innovation is not allowed. They just need to do anything which is out of the rules. The work, they will be in problem. This precise people will be better into such roles. And to brief it, What are the precise perfectionists? These people will be, they're extremely perfect, Mr. Perfect. They're meticulous in this work. They may do a work late, but if they do that work, you cannot find fault in this people. If some task is given, they may delay it a day or two, but if after they submitting, it is very hard for other person to really find a fault in this, in their work. That meticulously, perfectionistly they do the task, and they are fearful in emotion. Fearful in the sense, they are not fear for other things. They don't want somebody to point out them. That is a fearful. It is not that fear of losing something or like that. They don't want anybody to come and point out and say you have done something wrong. This is not the right way to do. They don't want that comments to be. That's why they're very fearful and do things perfect. Critical thinkers, high standards, they set themselves at very high standards and they follow that standard. Matching to these high standards, it sometimes for other people is really little bit tough. So they're very meticulous and they have a very structured way of life. Limitations, of course, too much of sometimes they will delay the work. Sometimes the deadlines, they will be crossing the deadline sometimes because of they obviously will be having certain pressure, and they sometimes they'll be losing the fun part of the life also. Pioneering people are out of the box thing, innovate. These people always want to do and try something new. Why this thing need to be done in this way only? Why can't I try this way? Let me do outside the out of the comfort zone. Let me think out of the box. Very unconventional people try to experiment things and learn. When coming to a task, if you want something, they will say, why I need to do it in this way only? Why can't I try in the other way and see how it works? Why cannot I create my own standards and show it to the world? Fearless people. They don't fear about anything. They are innovators. They are unconventional. They always want to experiment things and learn from it. Independent people, and because of too much of pioneering, also sometimes if that really don't work, sometimes it will land up into some different this. So these are the 8 behaviors which all of us will be having. And if you write and understand these 8 behaviors, easily I can suggest you or say only 2 out of these 8 are very predominantly seen behaviors. Not 8 are equally seen in you. At any point of time in human behaviors, all behaviors are not seen at all point of time. Every one of us will be having 2 dominant behaviors only. Out of these 8, if you understand and self-reflect, you can just think about and say, these are my most seen and I feel this is more in me. And what are the 2 behaviors you're identifying out of these 8? And then you need to see how you need to leverage that strengths. There are certain strengths of every behavior. Try to leverage it more. And certain limitations are there. Try to have a border of that. Don't cross that. As I told you, the same strength will become the limitation. We need to understand by over having too much of this particular behavior also will create me problem. So these are the things which the behaviorals will take place. Different behaviorals will take place. Now, whoever are you into working, or then you are when coming to choosing your careers, especially you need to look into the problems, challenges, and people and contacts are always there in every career. These 2 things you can't avoid. But anybody, someone can be in mute. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So when coming to choosing your careers on your behaviors, every role demands certain requirements. Every job role demand, and specifically when coming to certain careers into finance, HR, marketing, certain predominant behaviors will always help to give his own flavor to that job. So what is that which you can really understand in that behaviors and your careers is very important. When people who are very pioneering, who are very dynamic in nature, always try to do something new. Any job which is fascinating you, which is challenging you, which is asking you to do something new, create your own structure and policies. Try to be in that positions where you always get motivated there. And people who are always study and you want to have a regular thing, always try to look into a role where your steadiness, your meticulous work of completing the task into doing any policy making or taking something into operational roles or authorized authority roles, this precise or study people will really work there better. So you have your own dynamics of this combinations of this what you say this one. So please try to understand this 8 behavior. There are a lot of mechanisms. If you still want to know more, how exactly there are a lot of tools available in the market to know about yourself. There will be guiding people available. And finally, I also want to conclude that always most of the people whom I'm seeing are professionals, working people. My suggestion always is when you're growing in your careers, please always try to have a mentor for you. A person maybe of the same industry or with more experience or anything. Always when you're professionally growing, you need to have somebody in your life who really mentors you in professional life. What they will be seeing you on the other side through other lens. You will be seeing through your lenses. Whatever you say, we can always justify our behavior. Whatever you say, I have my reasons. The way I can justify myself. If still I do wrong, I have my own reasons to justify. But a mentor is not like that. They are upfront to you. They will really guide you. So always my final conclusion is choose somebody who mentor, coordinate with them monthly, at least once have a 20-30 minutes with them discussion, take some guidances on your personal front. This challenges. So that will really help us. That is my experience. I always choose to have mentors in different areas, in professional area, sometimes in fitness and some person. So I take lot of guidances that really help them because their expertise, their guiding, understanding me and the other side also, and they are between the both. They are between us and the industry. So they are the right person to help us. So always my conclusion suggestion is please have a very good process, a good self-development to start with is choose a mentor of your in your circle and say, I want you to become my mentor and I require your support. People, if you somebody asks her that I want you to become my mentor, really people will love to do that and definitely people will help you also. Right? So these are the behaviors which I really want you to understand and see where you land. And again, I'm reiterating it. Please, all behaviors are acceptable behaviors. We are what we are. Only thing is we know our strengths, limitations, and work accordingly. Play with it. That always play with your strength. Don't worry about your limitation. Balance it. That's it. You can't avoid it. At least try to balance. Right. So this is a short note. Lot of things we can take it in depth, but as the time constraint and the objective of this is to that extent only. So I'm just making it crisp to make you understand the behavior so that it will really help you where we stand. Yeah. This is all it's about the agenda which has given. Hope it really helped all of you. Thank you so much. If you have any FAQs, please feel free. I'm happy to answer. You can ask, you can chat, anything.
Thank you, ma'am. On the behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my hearty vote of thanks to our excellent, outstanding
Thank you,
speaker,
Vikash.
M. Yogita ma'am. Today, we got the opportunity to listen to an interesting and thought-provoking discussion on understanding your behavior styles and choose your career. The amount of expertise and passion displayed by M. Yogita really enhanced our grasp of the understanding your behavior style and choose your career. M. Yogita ma'am skillfully imparted her knowledge, leaving us with insightful conclusion and motivational concept. Her interesting presentation captured our attention and motivated us to learn more. Ma'am, I have one question that
Yes, please,
how
Vikash.
how does our personality traits influence career success? I mean, how can we align them with our career choices?
So, yes, definitely, as every role requires certain behavioral competencies aligned into it. You know that there will, in every career, there will be job descriptions, and the organization will give us some expectations in that JD, right? This role demands this. I want this. These are the outcomes I'm expecting. The person need to perform certain roles and responsibilities, and these are the expectations set. Most of the behavioral competencies, whatever the role requires, that behavioral competency need to be there internally to match that expectations of the organization. If you are a person, you are asked in your particular job that your major role is your customer service role, for example, a customer service role requires a lot of internal behavioral competencies which need to be there. For example, you should be a very highly precise, study and reflective person combination will really, you can do a customer facing servicing role better because you take it to the end. A dynamic person or a very outgoing person, for example, generally you may, most of you think, okay, to handling people, outgoing people are very good. No, outgoing people will listen to the customer problem, but they're not very much interested to solve the problem. But customer want people who solves it. Organization want who solves it, right? A precise person only can really analyze, paralyze the problem and really give a solution. So marketing sales is something where outgoing people are good. But when you deal of the customer service and problem solution, a precise person is better. So every JD, there are a lot of expertise. Most of the people into this industry will help most of the people. What is your job role is asking, where are you standing, how you can align this both. What is your something which you're already having that is very good, something which is not your behavioral competencies are not matching the expectations of the organization, where you need to go. So customer service means the accused, precise and study behavioral length only will work out for the solution, not the output. Like that, this will really help in depth if you're really mapping yourself with the job. Basketball, one thing yes, Vikas. Left insole light. Yes.
Ma'am, can
Hello.
you unmute yourself?
Yeah. So this is how your job description, your behavioral competencies, you need to map it and understand each every expectations of the job description is your behavioral competency mapping it or not. That's how you need to understand. Any more? Please feel to ask.
Ma'am, is there any key behavior pattern that can help us in a means in long term success? That what these are some key patterns that will surely help us to achieve a long term goal or long term success.
First of all, in behavior, the first rule what we generally learn is please start first accept your behavior as it is, because we are inheritedly born and having certain behaviors. You can adopt to certain extent. Suddenly I can't become somebody whom I'm really not. If I want to also, within certain limit, I will exhaust. Yes or no? I can't adopt it. You can't with mask for long time. 1 day or 2 day, you need to take your mask. That is a natural behavior. Only thing is, with your existing natural behaviors, what good miracles you can do. That is the only thing. Don't try to adopt the other extreme side of the behavior that will really put it you to stress. This behavior only what maximum leverage you can do it with it, to what extent the adoption is required. That's it. I cannot, nobody will say that, okay, this out of this 8, this 4 behaviors are good behaviors. So always try to put yourself in 4 behavior. No, it will land up into great problems and difficult. Accept your behavior. Always behavioral science says first, accept your behavior as it is. Don't overthink about your behavior. Understand that behavior strength. Leverage that, play with that strength, and see that you're not crossing the limits of that behavior. That's it. Yes. So thank you so much. I think Vikash, you can share your. Somebody has asked for the feedback link also. You can share it. People can take few minutes of your time and share your feedback as.
So once again, I express my gratitude and thanks to M. Yogita ma'am for sparing time from a hectic schedule to impart information to us. We are speechless by your invaluable presence at the session. You provided in-depth knowledge about the subjects and shared some fascinating information. Once again, we shall abide by our time for some future workshops in order to advance both our personal and collective knowledge. Additionally, I want to thank everyone in the attentive audience for their smart questions and active involvement. The event is considerably more meaningful because of your participation. Now it's time to announce the most engaging participant, and it's Miss Sunita. A very, very congratulations to her. Now,
Congratulations, ma'am.
a good events never end in the world. They take only a pause for the next. All good things eventually end. I considered everyone as fortunate that they become a part of this workshop and which was full of knowledge, which makes difficult to say goodbye.